What is up, you guys? Orlando here with Alicia Record Studio. Another video for you guys today. And today we have a surprise. We have a new plugin from this company called Techivation or Techivation. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but we want to get into this because this one, it's really promising. So let's do it. And remember, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. You know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any other video from us. Do it! We have here a copy of T-De-Esser Pro.
Super hot.
Now, this is the pro version of plugin. It's a natural sounding de-esser. We're gonna put that natural sounding thing to the test today. Let me go through what the plugin does and what the plugin is. As we said at the beginning, it's a de-esser. You have here to the right a level bar. It's gonna show you the actual level of the sound coming in, and also it's gonna show how much of the signal is compressed. So de-esser is just another compressor, but for the high-end sounds basically. On the left side you have the output bar. I would have put the output on this side. You have the processing knob here. This is the threshold, so you can double click and send it back to the original position or write the number that you want here. Here on the frequency range, you have preset options. You have low, high, mid, high, high, and high end. And if you go to the manual, are going to be high end from 5K to 20K. High, it's 5K to 10K. Mid high, it's 2K to 4K. And low high, it's 1K to 4K. After that, you have intensity. That's gonna be how much the plugin is actually gonna compress. So this works exactly as a compressor. So that's basically what it says right there. Strength of de-esser. On the sharpness, you're gonna be able to control the smoothness of de-essing on set. Allow the plugin to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna work as kind of a knee on compression. It's gonna make softer the change between the compressed signal and the uncompressed signal. It's gonna soften that compression a little bit more, or sharpen it, or making it a little bit more obvious, the sound. So that's the sharpness. Couple more knobs here, attack and release. That's self-explanatory. You have a look ahead feature here. It's gonna apply de-essing even before the signal it's hit. Notice that if you activate this function, the plugin, it's not gonna work zero latency as before. If you activate this, you're gonna have a little bit of latency with this feature on. You have mix control here, which is super cool to have. You have a quality here. This is for oversampling. You have the audition feature. It allows you to actually hear the actual effect, and the filter is only gonna let you hear this frequency range that you set up here. If you set this to mode left or right or mid side, you can literally work just on the left right signal, the stereo signal as a whole, or you can put it as a mid-side mode here. You have also a high cut filter from 3K to 20K. If you move it to the left, it's gonna cut all those signals, and it sounds super smooth. And you have a saturation feature here, something I wasn't expecting because this saturation, it's a super smooth saturation, but it's gonna give it a little bit extra. So I'm gonna show you right now what this plugin does on a hi-hat. So here I have a hi-hat loop, and I'm gonna play that for you. As you can see, once I apply this, you're getting also more articulation within the hi-hats, which is a crazy thing to have because you don't normally get this with this type of plugin. So it's doing something extra, which I like. And again, at the same time, it's super subtle and super natural sounding. So they kind of deliver on the promise of natural sounding de-esser, which is pretty cool. Another rival here, the Sibilance plugin from Waves. Doesn't sound that well. It doesn't sound that smooth. So that was a bummer because I really enjoy Sibilance, but let me pull back the range and see how that sounds again. I want to be fair. It's making the signal harsher, especially on the open hat. I cannot tell you otherwise. So that was a huge surprise as well. This one is one of my favorite de-essers ever. Let's take a listen just the iOS plugin right now. So just to be fair, I like a little bit more iOS on this case because this has an extra curve of basically of EQ here that it's kind of, you know, unfair. So I'm gonna disable that and I'm gonna try that again because this has an extra curve and it's pulling out a little bit more the high end on that side, which is really nice to have, and you feel and perceive the hi-hat as high quality because it has higher end or top end to, in this case, to this, right? But let's see how that sounds now without it. Saturation, let me give it a little bit more so you can actually hear this effect right now. Freaking great contender for what it's out there right now, and I think they really exceeded my expectations. You have a bunch of presets as well, especially with the Pro version. You have even more presets here. So is it worth it to have extra de-esser? I say, you know, it never harms anyone to have just an extra de-esser because you don't know what kind of signal you're gonna work with. And having options is always good. But this has several versions. It has I think a really basic version, a plus version, and this one, which is the Pro version. The Pro version, of course, it has way more control than the other versions. So be aware of that. But right now, the basic version and the plus version are free, which is, you know, really great. And the Pro version is the one that it's, you know, costs a little bit of money, which is $90. It's kind of on the expensive side, and if you want to have that kind of tool, if you work a lot with de-essing and you want something that is natural sounding, I really recommend it. It's expensive, yes, but does it give you enough control for that expensive price, especially on the Pro version? Yes, it does. So there it is for you guys, the T-De-Esser Pro. I think it's a really cool plugin and tool to have. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. Give it a try and let me know what you think about it. And until next one, guys, don't stress, do your best, be blessed, forget the rest. See you around.